The Timberwolves beat OKC. After going down 0-2 in the series, a lot of us, including myself, wasn't sure the Timberwolves could actually have a chance to win this series. And it's not because the 0-2 deficit is impossible to come back from. It was because they looked completely overmatched offensively and defensively. That was really my issue with the Timberwolves, because as talented of a team as they are and as well as they have played in the playoffs, they just looked overmatched in this series. And it's not that I thought they were going to get swept, but I was like, I don't really know if they have a chance anymore. Well, they heard everybody's comments, all the critics talking about they have no chance, and they came out on fire today. This is the Anthony Edwards we have wanted to see kind of all playoffs, but especially in this series. I said it in the last video, I don't know if his ankle is bothering him because he has tweaked it quite a few times. And I understand injuries, especially someone like Anthony Edwards, who is very athletic and, sometimes relies on that explosiveness, it can hinder his ability to be himself. So I understand that and take it with a grain of salt. But at the same time, I also understand that, in my opinion, they could not win this series if Anthony Edwards is not averaging 30. Now, I know he scored like 32 last game, but there's a difference between scoring 32 and playing the way he played today and scoring, 32. Because he was so aggressive, especially on defense. In the first quarter, he had like two or three steals maybe, or maybe that was the second quarter, which led to easy dunks for him, which is obviously easy points. Like, that is what we have been missing from Anthony Edwards in this series. And I'm not going to say it's all because he wasn't trying. OKC has very good defense for a reason, right? Like, they are part of the reason why Anthony Edwards was not just going off like crazy. Like, they were focusing on stopping him, and they made it tough on him so he wasn't getting all these fast break dunks and stuff like that. At the end of the day, the series is now 2-1. And again, I still think OKC is going to win this series, so I'm not changing my pick. I think Minnesota might be able to get an extra game, but I still think it's OKC in 5 or 6. The one thing about OKC is, especially after a loss like this, regardless of whether or not you thought they were gonna lose this game, which I feel like probably would have happened, especially after the Timberwolves go down 0-2. They come home, they're going to be the more aggressive team. But it was almost at the end of the third quarter, and it was like 100-59, right? So we know OKC should not, and I don't think they will, shoot and score like that again. 59 points at the end of the third quarter is crazy. So the next game, while the Timberwolves, let's just say, have a slight lead, OKC could still close it out. Like, if they're down 40 points again, then obviously not. The Timberwolves looked engaged, hungry, aggressive. The defense was really the big difference to me. Like I said, Anthony Edwards on defense, but everybody, Rudy Gobert in the first or second quarter, I keep forgetting which quarter it was, he got a steal also, and they were just making OKC uncomfortable. OKC makes other teams uncomfortable and turns them over, gets in the passing lanes, just like messes up whatever the other team is trying to run on offense. That is what Minnesota did in this game. This game was so important for the Timberwolves because, I'm saying the obvious here, but if you go down 0-3, you're not coming back in the series, right? But again, it's not even just the 0-3. Given the win, 2-1, again, I guess it's kind of stating the obvious, but 2-1 doesn't seem as impossible because now they're like, okay, we got one at home. We can definitely get another one at home. And then you go back to OKC 2-2, and it's just like a brand new series. Because it's 2-2, and it's a 7-game series, so now it's a best of 3. And basically, you got to think about it that way. You obviously get one game at a time when you tie it up 2-2, just assuming that they do. And then you say, okay, we can beat them in their minds. This is their thought process, or it should be. We can beat them 2 out of 3 times. Again, I still think OKC is going to win this series. I am not necessarily saying that Minnesota is going to win the next game. I could absolutely see OKC taking one on the road and going up 3-1. I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, you get it to 2-2, you feel really good because it's a best of 3, and you only have to win 2 out of the 3. Like, for example, just to go back to the 0-3 deficit, if you go down 0-3, that means you have to win 4 straight, right? Like, that's a taller task to ask for. Like, that's not that you necessarily can't beat a team 4 times in a row, but A team like OKC, I don't think you're beating them 4 times in a row, is basically what I'm saying. If you get it to 2-2, right? And now it's a best of 3. And let's say you win the next one. Now you're up 3-2. You lose the next one. Now it's 3-3. But now you only have to win 1 game. So I'm just saying that's the kind of the mindset that Minnesota needs to take if they win game 4. But this was all about Minnesota. Like, it was all about them being the aggressor. But OKC, they're not going away. Don't take this win by Minnesota as, oh, OKC can't hang with them. OKC's coming back next game firing.